Good afternoon. How's everyone's day today? Happy Tuesday, guys. Hopefully everyone's day is good. Mine has been good. It's been a little bit busy. I didn't actually end up going to the farm today just because I had enough vegetables in the fridge for the week, so I only have to go on Thursday. So I took some time this morning, caught up on some computer work, and I had to take a drive into the city, so around half an hour each way, to go get the scallops today. So the place that we were going to get them from, their scallops haven't been producing for the last 5 years. So that's not making enough that they can sell at wholesale anymore. So I had to do some phoning around this morning and find out where was the best option for me to get fresh scallops today. So I did find a spot. They're not cheap, I will tell you that. They cost me $50 for around 800 grams. So they were $5.99 per 100 grams. AKA around like $28 per pound, which is insanity. Yeah, lazy morning. Yeah, I never really had that at all. It was just kind of nonstop for me. I cut some roses this morning that were blooming, so I made a nice little bouquet for myself and then dried a bunch of petals from the roses that just finished blooming before they fell to the ground. And I'll probably end up making some rose water or something on stream. Hello, Elvin. Mama, how are you today? So at least we have the scallops for the stream today is the biggest thing. So I just went before lunch. So they're super fresh. The spot that I got them from is called Thrifty Foods. I don't know if anyone watching lives out here on the island. And they just got them in this morning from the East Coast. They got 12 pounds in, and I think I came home with like 1.5 pounds. Happy Tuesday for sure. All right, and then we're gonna be making some risotto today with peas and mint and some lemon. Elvin with the resub. Many happy returns. Fry them scallops. Thank you so much, man. 3 months in. Can't even believe it. Every time I see someone resub, it just makes me feel so good. Thanks for all the support. You know I love having you around. It's nearly bedtime for you and the old man. I love that speech to text. Many happy returns. What's with the accent on it? Fry them scallops. It sounded like Gordon Ramsay. Okay, so I picked up more of the arboreal rice for the risotto today because I wasn't sure. And I'm kind of happy I did pick it up because I only have this little amount anyways. And then I just picked a little bit of fresh dill from the garden to probably garnish the plate with. And then I have some snap peas that I got last week from the farm that we're gonna just quickly saute up today. And I just picked some fresh radishes too from the garden. Haven't even washed them up yet. I just quickly got these before the stream. And I think I'm just gonna shave them really, really thin over the plate for just a little bit of crunch and freshness. Yeah, I'm auditioning for Hell's Kitchen. That's what I feel like. I was actually watching Ramsay scallop videos this morning, and it was making me nervous. I haven't cooked scallops in so long, but I'm going to go with his technique, and I'll just post his little vid in chat for you guys. This is the one that I watched this morning. And it's legit. I like his little technique because it kind of just times itself out so you're not like stuck setting a timer or anything like that. Oh, you didn't even have the grandkids today, so it's been nice and quiet. That's good. That's always a good time. And the risotto recipe that I'm using today is from Jamie Oliver's book. So I decided to take out a cookbook and cook out of it today. So it's called Cook with Jamie. It's his guide to making you a better cook. This book is really, really good. So we're going to get into our risotto today. I'll read that caption for you guys. And I think he has 5 or 6 different risotto recipes in here. And we're going to do the asparagus, mint, and lemon. But instead of the asparagus, we're just going to switch it out for some peas, which I think are in the freezer. I'm just going to go run and check real quick. But that's what we're going to base our risotto off of today. I thought that would be fun. Good old Jamie. So Jamie and Ramsey coming together to make this dish for us today. You have to be good and wait until October for your next cookbook purchases. Yeah, I haven't gotten any lately either. But there is probably close to 100 cookbooks at work that I'm able to pick from. So I'm just going to start reading out of that. And if I really, really like the book, then I'll put it down on a list and buy it. You thought he was handsome. Yeah, my mom loved him too. Gotta love Jamie. Okay, and then other than that, not too much else going on in stream today, which is totally fine by me. I am home alone with Posh today. Everyone's out working, so we're gonna chill, guys. Okay, so let's get into a little bit of history with scallops and risotto, and then we will get started. Adelangi and Michael Solomonov have books coming out at the same time on Middle Eastern food. Your money's already spent. Yeah, it doesn't even know it yet. Honestly, my bookshelf or my book cabinet is full. So I think that's what's been kind of saving me from buying any more. Because like they're already piling up here behind me in the kitchen. So until I get another bookshelf, I can't buy anymore because there's nowhere to stick them. The world's telling me something. Okay, so scallop. This is a common name that is primarily applied to any one of numerous species of saltwater clams or marine bivalve mollusks. I know that's a very, very funny terming for you guys, but that's actually what they're called. They're called bivalve mollusks. The common name scallop is also sometimes applied to species in other closely related families within the superfamily Pectinoidea, which also includes the thorny oysters. What's a thorny oyster? Thanks for the host, Teasy. The heat index is 106. Man, the States is just burning up, I feel. Like, you guys just keep telling me these temperatures, and that is insanely hot. Like, it's only 16 degrees out right now. And to me, that's like the perfect temperature. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's just right. So scallops are a cosmopolitan family of bivalves, which are found in all of the world's oceans, but never in fresh water. So you can only find scallops in the ocean. They're one of the very few groups of bivalves to be primarily free living, with many species capable of rapidly swimming short distances and even of migrating some distance across the ocean floor. I've always wondered how these things kind of move in the ocean. Like, how do they even swim? I don't know. It'd be very, very interesting to see. I'm sure it's on an episode of Planet Earth. Your cold water is warm there? That's insanity. But when Sam and I lived in Vancouver, it got really, really hot there in the summer too. Like, we needed the AC in our, 700 square foot apartment because it just got way too hot. When it's so hot that you can't sleep, you need to do something about it. Revolving potato. Hi, how are you? Okay, so many species of scallop are highly prized as a food source, and some are farmed as aquaculture. The word scallop is also applied to the meat of these bivalves, so which we got today. We didn't get them in the shell, sadly. I've always wanted to do that. Sam has cleaned them in the shell and stuff before, but I've never been able to do that yet. So it applies to the meat, the adductor muscle, which you have to remove because it's really tough. So if it's on there, we'll have to take it off before we cook it. And that is sold as seafood. Hey, Optrix, how are you? You've had the aircon on for nearly a week. Crazy. See, we would just put ours on a timer. So when we left to go to work, we'd shut off the aircon because obviously it's a small space. You don't really need it. And then we just get it to turn on probably an hour before we would get home from work, and it would be perfect inside. That's good, Optrix. You have some scallops in the freezer. Nice. I haven't eaten scallops in, I don't even know. So too long then is what we'll say. It's been too long since I've eaten scallops. Okay, let's get into risotto. So we'll do some of the history first, and then we'll see what Jamie has to say about risotto. Considering the temperature, you doubt Liz has gotten out of the shower since the 30th. Yeah, she just lives in the shower. She's so funny. Gotta take those cold showers 3 times a day. That's nuts-o. Maybe she's just a prune. That's what I imagine when I think of her. You're in 24/7 heat? You turn it off going to bed, go upstairs and put the fan on. Nice. That is perfect. Oh my gosh, you guys in your hot temps. When the water is not even cold anymore, that's a problem. Okay, risotto. It's a northern Italian rice dish cooked in a broth to a creamy consistency. So the broth can be derived from meat, fish, or vegetables. We're gonna do just vegetable today since we have seafood. You definitely don't want to do beef. Chicken, yeah, you can do if you wanted some extra flavor. But I think I'm just gonna choose veg so that we can still let the scallop flavor come through more than anything. Scalding is the new cold tap water. All right, so many types of risotto contain butter. Oh, gotta turn that off and this off. So risotto contains butter, wine, onion, and Parmesan cheese. So we're gonna be putting all of those things into our risotto today. It's one of the most common ways of cooking rice in Italy. Saffron was originally used for flavor and its attractive yellow color. So saffron risotto was the original risotto ever made. I really like that. So simple. You're having a cool day today. It's only 31 Celsius. Only. And if it got that hot here, that's like double the temp here right now. I couldn't imagine. I'd be melting for sure. Risotto in Italy is normally a primo, so a first course or an appetizer. It's usually served on its own before the main course. But risotto alla Milanese, so I'm guessing risotto with like a cutlet on it. It's often served together with osso buco. But here in America, I find that it's way more common to serve risotto with your main course as a side dish instead of an appetizer. I don't know if I've ever seen risotto as an appetizer other than, what are they called? The little fried rice balls. Totally drawing a blank here, but I know one of you will know what I'm talking about. Arancini. arancini balls. So when you ball risotto, put a piece of cheese in the middle, bread it, and deep fry it. That's the only kind of risotto I've seen as an appetizer here. It's the arancino. Kate's going to be talking with an Italian accent today. Okay, so history. Rice was grown in southern Italy since the 14th century and eventually reached Milano in the northern region of Italy. While, according to a legend, a young glassblower apprentice from Flanders, who used to use saffron as a pigment, added it to a rice dish at a wedding feast. So a glassblower added saffron to a rice dish at a wedding. Where are we going with this? The first recipe identifiable as risotto dates from 1809. So it's pretty old. I didn't think it's been made for that long. You've got a lightning storm incoming? Yeah, it should take a little bit of a plunge then. That's one thing I do miss, guys, is leaving the prairies. We don't really get thunderstorms here. It's a rarity. So risotto includes rice sauteed in butter, sausages, bone marrow, onions with hot broth with saffron gradually added. So that was the original risotto recipe. They use sausage and bone marrow. I can see why it's really rich then. So rice varieties. A high starch, short grain rice is usually used for making risotto. Such rices have the ability to absorb liquids and to release starch, and so they are stickier than the long grain varieties. The principal varieties used in Italy are arborio. So what I got today, this is the easiest one to find. And if you can get the one in the yellow box, that's the best one. I know it's a little bit more expensive, but that's what we use in the restaurants. It's supposed to get down to 17 Celsius. Whew, that's going to feel so good. You can usually buy beef bones at Wegmans for making stock. Yeah, beef bones are pretty easy to find nowadays. So the other rice varieties are baldo. Never heard of that one. Carnaroli, I have heard of that one, and I have seen it in a couple stores here. And then Maritelli Padano, Roma, and Violone Nano. Interesting. So it says here Carnaroli, Maritelli, and the Violone Nano are considered to be the best and also the most expensive varieties. But they also all have different properties. So for example, Carnaroli is less likely than the Violone one to get overcooked. But the latter one, being smaller, it cooks faster and absorbs condiments better. So I guess it depends on what you are serving with your risotto. And that will lead you to pick the best rice for that dish. But like I said, I've only ever seen the 2 different varieties of short grain rice here, so I don't know if it's even worth it to go farther into this. So there are many different risotto recipes with different ingredients, but they are all based on rice of an appropriate variety, cooked in a standard procedure. Risotto, unlike other rice dishes, require constant care and attention. Yes, they do. The rice is not to be pre-rinsed, boiled, or drained, as washing would remove much of the starch required for a creamy texture. So the original risottos don't have cream in them. Whereas nowadays, I find a lot of chefs are cheating the system and starting to put cream into their risotto to make it creamy. If you make it properly, you shouldn't need the cream aspect of it. You should be able to draw the starches naturally out of the rice and keep it creamy that way. Hey, Hollow. I'm doing well. How are you? So the rice is first cooked briefly in a sofrito of onion, butter, or olive oil to coat each grain in a film of fat. The white wine is then added and must be absorbed by the grains. When it's been absorbed, the heat is raised to medium-high, and hot stock is gradually added in small amounts while stirring constantly. The constant stirring, with only a small amount of liquid present, forces the grains to rub against each other and release the starch molecules from the outside of the grains into the surrounding liquid, creating a smooth, creamy textured mass. When the rice is cooked, the pot is taken off the heat and then vigorously beating in refrigerated balls of grated Parmesan cheese and butter. I usually just grate in the cheese fresh. I don't know what Parmesan balls are. And this will make the texture as creamy and smooth as possible. So don't add cream, but yes, it is totally okay to add a really, really nice Parmesan cheese at the end, though. Balls of cheese and butter. Yeah, I don't know, Millie. I'm just reading from a text here. That's obviously what they used to do in the olden days. And the risotto may be removed from the heat a few minutes early and left to cook with its residual heat. So properly cooked risotto is rich and creamy, even if no cream is added due to the starch in the grains. It should have some resistance or bite, kind of like al dente pasta, and the grains should still be separate, so it shouldn't be all mashed together like, let's say, a porridge. So it's served on flat dishes, and it should easily spread out, but not have excess watery liquid around the perimeter. It must be eaten at once as it continues to cook in its own heat, making the grains absorb all the liquid and become soft and dry. So this is not something that you want to make ahead and then reheat. But the way that restaurants typically do it, because a risotto recipe will probably take you around half an hour to do start to finish. We do cheat in the restaurant. So we'll par cook the rice with some aromatics, just boiling it in water until it still has that al dente bite. Take it off there, strain out the liquid, which sucks because there goes all of your starches, right? Put it onto a sheet pan to cool out or to cool off as fast as possible. And then when it comes to someone ordering that risotto, we have the par cooked rice grains, and then we kind of just finish off the risotto as it properly should be. But still, that is cheating. Like, you're not going to get the same texture or consistency of the rice and the starch. So that's why I feel that a lot of restaurants have to add that cream to mimic that creamy starch texture. Hey, old gay. I am good. You love scallops. Me too. They're a nice little delicacy, and I'm excited to cook them today. So it will cook quicker that way. It'll cook quicker, but it just won't be proper. And you probably will have to add some kind of extra dairy. But I guess if you don't have half an hour to 40 minutes to make the risotto, you could cheat, par cook your rice the day before so that it would only take you, let's say, 10 minutes to finish your risotto the next day. Do I apply that method with most rice dishes like paella? I've never made paella in a restaurant, and I doubt if you're getting a proper paella that they're going to cook it ahead like that for you. So when I had paella in Spain, it was a minimum half an hour wait just to get your rice dish. So they tell you that up front, first thing. So that kind of forces you to get a glass of wine, get an appetizer while you wait for your paella to be cooked properly. You shouldn't have to rush this stuff. So I think restaurants have kind of ruined risotto in that way. So unless you make it yourself, you won't really understand all of the perfect steps that go into it. You have to watch closely today. You've messed it up every time you've tried to cook risotto. Man, it's easy. You got this. I'll try and teach you all the tricks today then. Okay, let's see what Jamie says. You went to Spain in high school, had your first proper paella. All the shrimp still had their faces, the beady eyes, yeah. Did you suck the juices out of their heads, though? You have to. Forcing you to spend money to wait for your food. I'm sorry, Thunder. The recipes called for a certain amount of liquid, but when you use the liquid, it was still undercooked in the center. I usually make a little bit more stock just in case that happens. Because like your ingredients are always changing. Same with your environment. So some days it might cook faster than others. Unless obviously you cook on an induction at the same temperature every single time. It wasn't appetizing back then. Yeah, I believe it. Be kind of freaked out. All right, Mama. Good night. Thanks for being here. And happy lurking in your bed. Get all comfy. Farting Ape. Thanks for the follow. Welcome in. And Buff, my dude. What's going on? We got to teach all our crew how to make risotto today. Okay, so we're going on to what Jamie says first, and then let's get going. I'll show you guys the scallops. We'll put them onto some paper towel to kind of dry them out, getting them ready to sear. And we'll get started. I don't think today's stream is going to be very difficult at all. A lot of the stuff is going to be prepped up ahead of time, and then when it comes to cooking it, everything's going to kind of happen at once. And the helicopters. You got helicopters, Buff? If you've made a risotto before, you know that it takes about 40 minutes to cook. So how do restaurants get a risotto to you within 10 minutes of you ordering it? Well, I just told you guys how, so let's see what Jamie says. I did not read this at all yet today. I wanted to save it for you guys, so that's funny that I already kind of went through it. Well, it's quite simple, really. The risotto will start off being cooked as normal in bulk, but it will then be stopped halfway through and held until you're ready to put it back in the pan with a bit more stock and any other flavors to finish it off. This way of cooking risotto suits restaurants down to the ground, as it means there's much less work and manpower required in the kitchen at the busiest time, and the customers get their order quicker. But there is another good reason why this trick is very useful to know if you're cooking at home. If you're having people round in the evening and you've made your risotto in the afternoon, then you've done all your hard work beforehand. When your mates arrive, instead of sweating away in the kitchen, you can indulge in a few drinks and a chat with them, and then pop back to the stove at the last minute to reheat the rice for the last 5 minutes to finish your risotto off. I've never done it this way, so I've not put in all of the ingredients and then just stopped it and cooled it. I've only ever par-cooked the rice. So maybe this method does work a little bit better. But I'm not going to try it out today. I do challenge maybe one of you guys, though, to try it out at home. Save yourselves a little bit of time and see if it works just the same. You haven't made risotto in a while. Usually make it at dinner and always serve it with Prosecco. Oh, now I want some Prosecco for tonight's dinner. You don't think you spent 40 minutes making the risotto, so that would explain being undercooked. 100%. Does that affect the quality? I would think so, Thunder. I would think that would affect the quality for sure. Okay, our last little excerpt. I thought I knew what flavors worked in a risotto. That is until Lloyd, who is now the man when it comes to risotto, came up with the idea of making one with tomatoes added right at the end. When he told me about it, it didn't rock me, to be honest, as I couldn't see how squidgy tomatoes with their skins on could work in the rice. But I asked him to show me. Basically, he put some tomatoes in at the beginning, then added some more cherry tomatoes marinated in oil, vinegar, salt, and pepper at the finish. This meant that when you ate the risotto, you got a big hit of fresh tomato and basil. Boy, it was good. It's fantastic to be humbled by the students like that. So that's another recipe in the book that he makes. You heard restaurants tend to par cook the rice somewhere. Yep, that's what I was just saying. Which is the worst, because when you go to strain it out, like strain the water out, well, there goes all your starches. So in Jamie's book, he actually goes through all of the steps of making risotto. I'm not going to read them all to you today because we're going to go through them later. And then this is the recipe we're basing it off of, the asparagus one. But I did find this online, so it is posted in Discord for us as well. And I'm just gonna quickly go see if there's any frozen peas kicking around to throw into this. And then we're gonna get started. Alright guys, I don't think there's any shelled peas, but I did find some edamame. They're in the pods, so we'll have to boil them and then just shell them, but I think that'll still be really good. And then we still have the really nice snap peas from the farm to saute up on the side. So we just kind of need some substance to go into the risotto. And I still want to keep it like that nice green color. And there's not too much difference between the edamame and the pea. Just the edamame has a little bit more protein more than anything. I'm doing risotto. It's true, Matt. How are you, dude? Thunder, you heard ratatouille starts the risotto a bit early. Oh, I love ratatouille. Okay, so I guess we'll take out, let's say, 4 packs of these. And process them up. Okie dokes. Just gonna put them back. Okay, so we're just going to boil those until they're tender. I would say it'll probably take us around 8-ish minutes. So we can start with that. And then after that, we will clean the peas, get them ready for sauteing. And then we will prep our scallops, prep up the rest of our risotto stuff, measure out all the ingredients, and go from there. First time you had risotto was only a few months ago. It was Colin skink risotto. What? I need to look this up, Mama. Never heard of that. But it is a thing. Mama, are you in Scotland? Is that where you're at? What is Colin skink? So it says it has smoked haddock in it. Smoked haddock, potatoes, shallot, leek, garlic, milk, thyme, creme fraiche. Sounds really good though. Something smoky would be awesome in there. Let me just see where Doggo is. I want to make sure she's good. Hashi. Hash. You good? Hey. She's good. She's up on the top deck for some reason. Okay, let's check these guys out first. So not a cheap dinner today at all. But you know what? Treat yourself, is what I said. Colin skink is normally served as a soup, but OMG, it was amazing. Yes, you are Scottish. That's so cool. Hello from St. Petersburg. Hello, welcome in. Let's see what we're working with. Okay, so we got a bag. Bag of scallops. And they definitely smell more fishy than a lot of seafood, but I know that they are fresh. So I'm gonna say they were probably caught a couple days ago and then flown in from the East Coast. So I'm just gonna lay these out on a plate, I think. I can remove that because it's not wet at all. I need to just line the plate with some paper towel. So whenever you go to sear something in a pan, you always want it to be nice and dry. So look at these nice guys. So what it said on the package, I think it was around 10 per pound. And then if we look here on the side, that's the muscle that we want to take off, because that gets really, really rubbery if you leave it on. So you can easily just pull it off like that. And we'll just lay that guy down. So we're going to check every single scallop for that little muscle. Sometimes it has it, sometimes it doesn't. So this one's kind of hiding on there. It's pretty thin. But these are really nice scallops, I have to say. Just going through them right now. It smells like the sea. It doesn't smell fishy. Matt, I'm so excited. Scallops are lovely. It's kind of concerning to me though that the scallop, I guess, factory or harvest spot that used to be a thing here is no longer because they don't produce. I wonder if that has anything to do with like the health of the ocean or what. Oh, don't want it to fall off. We definitely have enough for the 4 of us. Maybe a little bit extra. But I will be at work tomorrow for lunch, so I will not be the one to enjoy the leftovers. Too much trash in the ocean. I know, Thunder. That's exactly what came to my mind. when that's what the lady told me. She's like, no, our scallop pods haven't been active in like 5 years. I was like, what? It's kind of disheartening. Okay, so the good thing is I'm not pulling off a lot of this muscle because you pay for that. It's on the scallop when you buy it by weight. So if every single scallop had one of these things on it, you're paying to throw something out. So with me only maybe picking off, let's say 8, that's really good. This guy I'm a little concerned with. He just got kind of torn, but we're not going to take that off because that's not the muscle. Like that should be on there. So that makes me a little bit sad too. But anyways, it is really good that we didn't have to take a lot of those off. There's no wasted money today. Am I doing the whole bag? Yeah. So let's count. Let's see how many we have here and then see how many we get per person. Let me just wash my hands up. Hey Dante, what's going on, man? The scallops are huge, yeah. So I called the crab shack here this morning and they only had the bay scallops, so the really, really small ones that are like the size of your thumb. And I'm pretty sure they were frozen as well. So I was like, I don't know if I want to get that. Like, is it going to be worth the money? So I called around and was able to find scallops that were brought in this morning from the East Coast. So this was the best pick for sure. Keep the muscle. Usually when you use scallops, you make a soup too because you use the muscle in a broth. Yeah, there was only like 10 of them, so I don't think it's really worth it for that, Matt, but I totally understand what you're saying. Okay, let's do a little count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 26, 28. We have like 28, 29. So there's quite a bit here. Okay, that is it. So we're not going to season these ahead of time because they are so delicate that if you season it now but don't cook it for a couple hours, it can get over salted really quickly. So we are not going to season these until the very last minute before it goes into the pan. That is the best option for sure. So these are going back into the fridge so they stay nice and fresh. Yum, guys. Maybe I'll just snap a quick photo since Sammy was asking for one earlier. Yum. Okay, photo has been sent. See you guys later. Bye, Millie. Ramsey would be proud. I hope so. She was talking to the scallops, guys, not us. She got us. Got us good, Millie. I like it. Wedged in there. Let's get the peas out. Okay, here's our peas from the farm that we just have to tip and top is what I like to call it. So just take off both ends, give them a little washy wash, but we're gonna keep them whole in the shell. And then just do a really quick saute on them. We've been debated. It's true. Miss Heimdall, welcome in. Thanks for the follow. Just leaving a follow. Much love to you. Yeah, we can't spank the scallop, Matt. They're too delicate. So before we start cleaning the peas, let's get some water going for our edamame. So that will be a little bit of a process. And you can start with hot water because we're just going to bring it to a boil. I think we'll salt the water as well. I feel like whenever you kind of blanch something, you need to still season the water. You're interested in my risotto, but that's one you would not make for yourself. How come, Matt? Because you don't like the vegetable aspect? Oh, my aunt is sending me photos from the East Coast. It's her birthday today. So she's sending me all the stuff that she's eaten so far. I can't look at it yet though. It just looks too good. So while we're waiting for that to heat up, we'll take our edamame out of the bag as well. That way it's ready to go. Do like a good tablespoon of salt. For the most part, but you'll see how it turns out. I don't know, the veggies today, they're not super strong in flavor. So that's why it's really nice. Like, seafood with peas, I find is always a good combo. Especially when the peas are in season, because that's when they taste the best. The pea-lemon-mint is a weird. What was the other one I was going to do? Pea, lemon, like you can do basil or dill. I think dill is probably the best option. Okay, maybe this is too much. I'm going to stop at those bags. We got a full bowl. That's more than enough. I know we'll lose a little bit because we'll take the shell off, but that's lots. We still want risotto with edamame, not edamame with risotto. You love chomping down on sugar snap peas. Yeah, they're so juicy. I love that too. So when I went to take these from the farm, they had like a little testing plate, so I made sure that I tried it and it was perfect. So then I bought it, or I brought it home. BRB, 20 seconds. Okay, let's switch these guys out. We'll just put them over there by the pot as it heats up. There are so many risottos out there. It's true, Matt. I've had a lot of different kinds of risottos. Okay, so I usually just snap the top, peel the string down if there is one, and then just pick off the bottom part. Because this string on the pea can get pretty tough too. So it's always good to get that off of there. Let's give this a taste. Really nice and sweet. Today you're not eating any of them. Hey Rush, you're back. How was the little break? I hope you enjoyed it. Matt, you thought you emailed yourself your recipe, but you can't find it. No. I think the Pillsbury Doughboy is the Michelin Man's illegitimate child. Probably. Despacito. It makes sense, doesn't it? And doing this reminds me of being at my Baba's house, so my mom's mom. Baba is the Polish word for grandma. So my Baba always had a huge garden, and we would go there every weekend to visit them. And I'd either be like picking raspberries or shelling peas or picking apples in the tree. So whenever I do peas, I find that memory always comes back to me. The Michelin Man is creepy. Kind of. The hamburger helper is the baby mama. I don't know if you're right there. That one's a little far-fetched. Your other half dragged you back. That's adorable, Rush. Well, as long as you guys are happy and healthy, that's all that matters. How do you say cute in Polish? I don't know. I don't speak Polish. And I gave Betty crap about that. Because it would have been way easier if she still spoke it. I wish I spoke Polish. You watch the football. Guys, how is the World Cup going, by the way? I haven't tuned in to even one of the games. I've seen a couple of updates on social media, but that's about it. Some exciting matches. Cool. What other languages do I speak? I'm gonna say nothing, Thunder. Like, I don't know enough of any language to speak it properly. I can read most Spanish/Italian/French and understand it. But for me to speak it back to someone, not a chance. And I kind of regret that now, that I didn't follow up with the schooling. But there are those outlets nowadays, like Babbel and stuff, where you can learn those languages. Just I'll have to like make time for it, right? Germany is out? Really? England overcame their penalty shootout jinx. Man, I love penalty shootouts. Nothing but drama queens in football. I think that's why I never watch soccer anymore. It's just the diving. I can't handle it. It's like, can we just play the game and stop trying to cheat your way out of stuff? How do I know Spanish? I took a little bit in high school, and then I ended up taking a little bit from a language course that I bought for myself. I forget what the program is called, but it's quite popular. But I never followed up with it. And then I also took French in school too. And then Italian, I kind of just know from having a lot of Italian friends growing up. You found one that's pretty close to your recipe. Yeah, I posted up, Matt. Let's see. Let's do a little comparison. Hey, Karen. How are you? The world has been crazy lately. The world gets crazier by the week, I find. Frisbee is the real man's sport. Ultimate Frisbee does get intense. Poppy chulo. What is going on? Liz, how are you? Rugby is the manliest sport. Yeah, that one, that's a good one, Thunder. I agree with that. Rugby's pretty legit. 90 grams of butter, 1 onion finely chopped, 1 clove of garlic. Yeah, you don't need much garlic when you're doing risotto. Beef minced. Oh, you do beef. Water, diced tomato, tomato paste. You do long grain white rice? I feel like that's off. Peas, basil, and parm. I like the ingredients though. Eat the butter in the pan. You separate it. Looks good, Matt. Hello, Brian. How are you? It's actually raining, Liz. You made a pit stop at Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, now everyone's frozen. Watch out, the rain is coming. Karen, you're really bad. Why are you really bad? That's never a good thing. Yeah, Liz just steps out of the shower into the rain. You use any rice, Matt. So can you notice a difference then? Since you're a cook, I'll ask you. Because I've never made risotto with long grain rice. I would think it would just probably fall apart. Okay, we're just gonna get those little scrappies out of here and put our peas back into the bowl. And then it looks like our water for our edamame is almost ready. So these are all nicely cleaned. I think that's a pretty good portion to split between 4 of us. You make a seafood and a beef mainly. Nice. I know, Rush. Scallops today on stream. It's taking everything in my body to not eat these peas right now. They're so good. Just put them over there. Back away from the peas, Kate. Karen, you're angry. He's angry, guys. Watch out. Have I ever made an ice cream with savory ingredients? I don't know if I've made an ice cream, but I've done a tomato basil sorbet before, and this was in culinary school. I do like to play around with savory ingredients in my desserts, though. That has to probably come from being a cook first. You're an amateur cook, but there is a difference. Well, you sound like you know what you're doing, Matt. Fake it till you make it. Yeah, why are you angry, Karen? Vent it out, man. Just keep the swear words to a minimum. And how thick the sauce is. It makes sense, Matt. See, whenever I go or even think about using long grain rice for risotto, I always just think of the Italians like swearing at me from up above. Like, what are you doing? Have I did the giveaway for the apron? Yeah, I did, Rush. So a person called Flexerd won the apron, and he's actually my first subscriber that was not related to me. So that is so cool. So for him to be supporting me for almost 6 months now, I think he deserves that apron. Even though he's not in here much, he has still been with us this whole way. Tomato basil sorbet, it was legit. It was so good. Swear words to a minimum. Don't say vegan. Shh. Hey, vegan chick. There. Speaking of vegan, why'd you have to say that, Alvin? We'll let vegan chick come in, though. And Mike Sai. What's up, guys? Welcome in. Yeah, so Rush, Flexert said he's going to give the apron to his mom. And I have to send it all the way from Vancouver Island to Scotland. So it's coming your way. You must be present to win. Oh, he's been present. Yeah, you guys are all winners in my eyes. Your PC does not work. Sounds like me every time I turn Sam's computer on too. There's always something that goes wrong. Okay, let's get on with our risotto prep. The risotto. Aw, thanks, vegan chick. How did the rest of the stream go yesterday? Matt, you're super special. Mortal enemy. Okay, so we do need to get some vegetable broth going for this. And this recipe serves 8, so I think that is the perfect amount for us to make today. I think leftover risotto is not a bad thing to have around. It does reheat quite nice, whether you do it in the microwave or on the stovetop. But I find if you want to do it on the stovetop, just add a little bit more broth when you go to do that. Just a nice low and slow reheat. Yeah, shout out to Mike Sai. The bacon bits were amazing. I know when I saw bacon, I was like, there's no way she's cooking actual bacon. So that's so cool that you turn tofu into bacon. And let me ask you this. Have you ever done coconut bacon? Mike didn't burn the kitchen down, so it was successful. The problem usually sits in front of the screen. Yeah, I fully admit that, Cedros. I am so bad with technology, and I just feel like it hates me back. Coconut bacon. It is a thing, guys. So coconut flakes are the best thing to use. So like the bigger pieces of coconut that are dried. And then I bought a smoke powder. Instead of a smoke flavored liquid, you can get like hickory or mesquite powders. And I bought this from like a restaurant place, supply place. So it might be a little bit difficult for you guys to find, but I'm sure if you Google it, you can find it. And then just a little bit of salt and sugar to get that bacony flavor, sweet and salty. And it works really, really good when you toast up the coconut. It's made from coconut flakes. First time you've seen Mike's stream today, oh man, it's always a blast. Have fun, Rush. Oh no, Elvin, you lost them all. You ordered a bag of carnaroli rice. It's medium grain instead of the short grain arborio, but it has more starch. So with it being medium grain, that's going to be interesting to see how it cooks differently. I did make it. It is so, so good. Millie, let's do our edamame then. Get those going. Like I said, they'll maybe take 5 minutes to cook up. They all live in bone poverty. Okay, frozen edamame going in. Do we have enough water? Yes. Millie's like, stop chatting and start cooking. Okay, for our rice, how much do we need here? One basic risotto recipe. Come on, Jamie. Lead me on like that. 1 pound and 6 ounces of risotto rice. Let's see what he puts on the online one, because I bet it changes. 600 grams. Way easier. Give me those grams, man. This risotto ain't gonna cook itself. My food yesterday. It was so yummy. I love breakfast. Put McDonald's in their place. You guys, stop playing roulette. It's getting you right now. Your phone was hacked? What is going on? Let's just get a little Sturzy in here to make sure they're cooking up nice since it's frozen. And then let's weigh out some rice. I told you guys, don't roulette. McDonald's needs to buy me. I like it, vegan chick. But honestly though, like, where's the vegetables? Why can't there be vegetables in fast food? Aren't vegetables like the quickest thing to cook? That's what I just don't understand. Next person will win. You can't imagine everyone at McDonald's with egg yolk running down their faces. Yeah, they're probably like, we don't want to clean up the egg yolk everywhere. I don't blame them, Optrix. Now I see the trick here. Just pre-cook the yolk, and then there's no mess. Okay, let's see what 600 grams of rice ends up being. But I need to open this bag a bit more. So that's only $3.44. Auntie Cedros, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the crew. They're out to kill people. Agreed. Honestly, it's just the battle against corporate places for like these small, amazing restaurants to actually make it out alive. It sucks. It's not fair. Like, we don't even have a chance. This is a lot of risotto rice. There we go. Ah! 6 hundo as I just throw everything everywhere. So that's like just under 4 cups of rice grain. And these guys, I'm gonna say they're pretty much there. Even if we don't fully cook them now, we're still going to be cooking the edamame a little bit in the risotto anyways. Frozen vegetables are worse than frozen burgers. Man, frozen vegetables are actually some of the freshest vegetables because they're picked in their prime and then frozen really quickly. So I've never been a person that's against frozen vegetables. Go to the beach tomorrow. Do it, Liz. Yeah, this recipe makes 8 servings. I was kind of shocked that Jamie's recipe makes 8 right off the bat, but that's so awesome. Yeah, put all of the sunscreen on. Veggies go rotten fast. Yeah, exactly. Any dessert today? No rush. I wanted to. But the store that I went to, I asked the person if they had like the little metal tart pans. They said they didn't have any with the pastry already in it, which is not helpful for me because you guys know I'm going to make that myself. The cheap ones were not picked in their prime. Probably, Cedros. Run into the store. Yeah, you should have went way earlier today. Good luck with everything, vegan chick. Thanks for popping in for a little bit. Okay, let's strain our edamame. You ain't going to McDonald's for broccoli. It's true. Yeah, you just want that McFlurry. let that cool off a bit before we go to peel them. We got our rice measured. Let's start up our stock. So it says 1 liter of vegetable stock. That's it, hey? But then there is 1 whole cup of white wine. So it says vermouth or a nice dry white wine. So this is what I'm going to use, a nice Pinot Grigio. Okay, I'm a little confused. It says for the risotto base, then it does the stock, olive oil, onion, celery, rice, and wine. And then it says for the risotto, your whatever greens you're using, asparagus, peas, edamame, whatever one you want. And then 700 mils, again, of the vegetable stock. So we need 1.7 liters of vegetable stock then. Let's make that easy on ourselves. Because we're not doing the pre-cook here. We're just going to do it from start to finish so you guys can see it made properly. And then if you want to do it the easier way, at least you know why it's easier. McBroccoli sounds nice though. Man, if they made it like a broccoli salad to go on the side, I would eat it. Today is going to be epic. You have $5 left to your name, but you managed to find some alcohol, as well as use up some of your free points from Pizza Hut for a free pizza. You're set, Matt. You're set, dude. Just making the most of life. You've had your late night small tub of ice cream. I love that, Rush. Okay, let's measure out our wine. 1 cup, 250 mils. Heck yes. Look at this bottle though. Like, didn't we just get this and it's almost all gone already? Am I mixing all the liquids together? No, wine still stays separate. But we need 1.7 liters of veg stock. I don't know why he had it separated because I feel like he par-cooked the rice first and then finished it with that last 700 mils of stock. Chug-a-lug-lug. I haven't even had a glass of that one either. But we did make some amazing sugo with it. Let's measure out our wine. Yeah, there goes the whole bottle. I know, guys, I didn't even drink any. I'm actually good. Deciding what pot I want to use. The stovetop is going to be a busy place today. The bananas changed quickly. I know. You're getting super, super right. Okay, let's measure out our liquid. And then we can make the broth right on the stovetop. Don't look at my bananas like that. It's so big and plump. Okay, now we can see if that will be enough of the broth that we need. It's a good little testy test. We don't want to make our broth too strong either. just because we will be adding in some Parmesan cheese. So that's also really salty, right? Cold shower incoming in 2 hours. You're already looking forward to it, Liz. Yeah, they're ripe for making banana bread now, exactly. So I think with the broth base that I'm using, I'm gonna do like a good rounded tablespoon worth. Just turn this on low. And this should mix in pretty easily. And we'll just leave that on the stove top once it's all dissolved until we need to use it later on. But you don't have to keep it hot this whole time. So we might even dissolve this base right now, and then I'll just turn it off. But sometimes it helps to put a little bit of heat on to dissolve your base. So totally up to you and what you're using. But this one's nice and soft still. I think we're good actually. That was like almost too easy. Better than bouillon for the win. I was lit yesterday. I was, straight up. Sammy and I said, we're gonna stay woke all day. And we did. You can see the bottom of the pan. Nah, man, we don't want it too salty. The small round brown spots that sometimes show up in bananas are actually bites from insects that sucked sugar and stuff out of them. What? Man, I heard the brown spots were really, really good. Yeah, we were woke. When I said that to Sam, he's like, what? So he never heard of the term woke before, which killed me. So then I had to explain it. Oh. But he understood it. Okay, let's check our edamames. Oh yeah, they're cooled off pretty nicely. I'll just pour them or put this on here so that we don't get any liquid dripping. Then we'll shell them into our bowl again. Let's go. Time to go to work. Yeah, we're wildin'. You call it daydreaming. You don't get lit, but you get lazy and stupid. Pretty much me. I mean, that was my kind of day off, right? Okay, so that's all you have to do for the edamame. Just open up the shell, squeeze out the little pod. Still got that little bit of crunch, which is perfect. You don't want it to be too mushy, especially if you're mixing it into something like risotto. You want that little bit of texture and crunch. It's not as good when you have to explain it. Nope. Hey Nike, how are you? It's the only way you can shut your brain off. Yeah. I'm a very high energy person, so it does help me for that as well, Thunder. I'll eat the peas, but I won't finish off the wine. Nope. Okay, and then edamame does have this little skin on it too. But typically, I don't always peel off that skin. I feel like that's a lot of work. So we'll see how it goes, but I don't always peel off that skin. And I don't find it's too chewy anyways. Where has Harry been? Oh, Harry. Wasn't Harry going away? Nike and Matt need a Twitch child. What would you name it? Edamame and Edapape. Totally naming a restaurant that. Let's go for some edamame at Edapape. Okay, these are not the easiest things to peel. I will admit that right now. If only we had those frozen peas, guys. Edapape. It has a nice ring to it. Yes, it does. Okay, so we know Matt is eating Pizza Hut today. What's everyone else consuming food-wise or liquid-wise? The PASMR. Yeah, I hope it's okay, guys. Nike, how are you? I still have those, what are they, margaritas in the fridge. That salmon I never even got to. Like, how sad was that stream yesterday? Drinks with Sammy. And what did we have? An iced coffee? And we shared a beer. I don't think that even counts as drinks. Chicken dumplings with soy sauce. Oh, man, I might have to make some gyoza on stream soon again. Get lit again. Yeah, might as well. What a disgusting American Matt is. You're like the guy in a wife beater with salsa stains and warm Pabst. Gotta get that PBR. Yeah, shots fired. Holy. I mean, you guys were just talking about having a kid together, and now we're here. Unconventional relationship. You just had a baked chicken breast with a slice of eggplant, slice of tomato, and Edam cheese. That sounds good. It's complicated. I always laughed when I saw someone's Facebook status say that. It's like, can it be that complicated? Like, it's either good or it's bad. I don't have time for complicated. Where did this one run to? Oh my goodness, we lost one. It's running away. Did you see it? Look at one under the book. It actually is gone. Oh, there it is. If you need domestic violence hotline. This is how you start your sexy time. You ate air. Oh, thunderstruck. Solid diet, man. You've never tasted eggplant. You know what? I'm so excited to see how ours end up growing. I know that they're planted too close together, but they're growing really well so far. You're having a Totino's pizza because you're too hot right now and hungry. You have to eat a little something before you token relax. Man, pizza party today. Man, it had some velocity. I can't believe it bounced all the way back under, close to this side. Yeah, drink his beer. Man, thanks for keeping chat always a fun time. You guys are so silly. I love it. You're the butch. Peace, everyone. Peace be with you, and also with you. It reminds you of Orange is the New Black. Totally. If there's ever one day where we can all meet, I can't even imagine what would go down. I don't even know if that would, like, be allowed. You had a German friend who said that the hardest word for him to pronounce was thrice. Yeah, we do rarely use the word. The chubby chick who uses a screwdriver to do stuff? What? Oh, yeah. I'm thinking back to the show now. Yeah, we're all intelligent. Thunder, what is going on, though? I'm just over here chilling with my edamame and edipape. I'm safe. The hardest English word for all Germans is squirrel. And Sam and I always laugh when his mom says shrew. Like the little rodent that burrows in the grass. Because they had a shrew at their property, I guess. And she actually, like, killed it. She's like, the shrew. With her little German accent. It's my favorite thing. Maybe it's easier if we just do this. I don't know, though. Oh, God, it's not. It just flies everywhere. Okay, don't do that way. Don't know where that went, but Posh will probably find it for us. The hardest German word for English native speakers is squirrel. Eichhornchen? Eichhornchen? I don't even know. You have undiagnosed ADHD. Posh is suntanning outside. She just ditched me. Holy, we're popping in here. Posh Spice. She's probably waiting upstairs for dinner though, because it's almost 4 o'clock. We gotta get rolling on this edamame. When I'm done the edamame, we'll feed Doggo. Posh's Doggo. Yeah, the family animal. 30% of Eichhornchen. Winning. Man, you guys got some crazy words. Yeah, she's our friend, Matt. She's not an animal, she's a human. Nothing like mundane tasks to start this stream off. Didn't plan on the edamame, but I'm happy with this choice. Oh, did we even look at these brown colored ones? I don't know if I'll use those ones. They look kind of gross. The discards. Am I streaming tomorrow? I am not. Ah, canned peas. I don't know if I've ever used canned peas. Yeah, no stream tomorrow because I'll be at work until like 6, aka when the stream typically ends. And today we're making pan-seared scallops with a edamame, lemon, and herb risotto. And then some sauteed peas, snap peas from the farm. Perfect, Matt. Racist bot. Man, you're still losing your bones, Liz? It's just not a good day. Happy 4th. Yeah, happy 4th of July to all you guys tomorrow. Sad we won't be able to celebrate together on stream. But my other job, let's say, I have like so many little things going on in life, but my other job, I work at a restaurant. So I'm their summertime prep helper person, which is really, really fun because I'm doing different stuff all the time for them. And it's a small restaurant, let's say around 30-ish seats. And everything that they serve is sourced locally. So if it's not in season, we're not using it on the menu at all. Aren't peas round? We're not putting the peas in the risotto. We're gonna put the snap peas just on the side. You've been addicted to sugar snap peas and ranch. Oh, so good. Oh my God, Thunder. You want a bone? You gotta work 9 to 6 tomorrow. Yeah, I'm gonna be probably working from 11 till like 5:30. Yeah, Liz is like, I'm out of here. You probably meant it in a nice way, Thunder, unless you didn't. She's upset. You have tomorrow off, Matt. Enjoy it. Enjoy that crazy holiday. Yay, I love seeing the German in chat. Now that makes me want to learn it. A bone equals 2 bone logic. Yep. That was my thought. Yay, Elvin. Have a good ride home and we'll see you later, hopefully, man. She's losing bones. Simply trying to help her. Boom, now she's back. She's like, let me think about how I want to go through with this. Okay, we're almost there. All of this work, like look at the shell pile compared to how much edamame we have. The heck? So much work. She was on another app. I could totally see Liz being on Orange is the New Black. Or maybe she was on Orange is the New Black. Rush, how's baby Thomas doing? I haven't really been on Facebook too much, so I don't know if you guys have been putting any like photo updates on there. But I'm sure he's getting so big now. The yellow from an egg. Cedros, I love that. You were the Dominican in the bathroom everyone thought was possessed by a demon. Love that. This is pure entertainment. Thank you for this. You had a little operation. He was tongue-tied. I almost had to have that too, Rush. So that little piece of skin under your tongue that a lot of people have it like short, mine is still attached. So they were worried when I was growing up that I'd have like a speech impediment, but I can talk fine, so I never really had to get it cut per se. Yeah, everyone's just in an awesome joking mood. Man, there's grumpy channels out there, really? I've always thought I've had a pretty chill chat. Usually more salty than grumpy. I could see that. Oh God. That's usually the Fortnite or PUBG channels. But it's like, the way I see it, it's like you're playing a game. Like it's only a game. Which is probably terrible for me to say if there's any streamers in here. But it's like, it should still be fun. Even though it's competitive. You once got called a lesbian liberal sloot for saying Ola in a new stream. Wow. Seems to be quite popular, Rush. None of your other kids have had it. Well, it's good that it's like a pretty simple operation. Oh my God, guys, last one. Let's go. Like, look at this pile. If you ever want to pass some time, feel free to shell edamame beans. Okay, so all of that for all of this to get put in the compost. Yeah, we love our mods. I have awesome mods. Okay, so we finished this. I'm just gonna go quickly feed Doggo. I thought this would be like kind of stinky, but it's not bad. I'm kind of thinking that I want to peel that off, but let's get everything else done first. And then if we have extra time, we'll peel off the skins. Tom! Thanks for the bits, man. I was just about to pop out and feed the dog for a sec. 20 minutes and it's naked pizza and beer time. Don't do what Aronia did yesterday. And walked by the window naked and saw a mom with her kids. How's it going, Tom? Are you ready for the 4th tomorrow? The poor camera lenses. Okay, be right back, guys. First, we gotta get Doggo in here. Posh, you want some food? Come on. It's dinner time. Let's go. Come get your food. Come on. She's like, no way. Just comes running down. Going upstairs. Okay, I am here. You need me to overnight you something. Do I take PayPal? Yes. What are you getting up to? You want some weed, I'm guessing. Yeah, I'm from Canada. Hey Mulan, how are you? Texans have a strange accent, really? Give 3 guesses, but I got the first try. Classic. When you know, man. I had a red apron yesterday. So it's the same brand that I wear on stream all the time. It's just a little bit different style. So that one's a bit older. But same brand. And that one's really, really comfy. So that is the site if you want to check them out. They're pretty expensive, but it's totally worth it. Okay, let's move on with our risotto prep here. So we need to finely chop an onion. It says he uses some celery. I do have a little bit of celery in the fridge still. So I think I'm going to use it up before it goes bad. You're good at breaking things, Nike. Should you go beef and pork pizza? You get 2 toppings. Whatever you want, man. What happened to this, though? Just rubber. She be limp. And then I just have a small onion here. Do I prefer scallop or oyster? Oh, that's a tough one. I don't know if I can choose Old Gay Fart. Like, they're both great in their own ways. But I'd probably eat scallops more often than I would oysters. But I do really enjoy the oysters out here. You can get a full tray of steamed cluster oysters for 18 bucks. That's a good price. Okay, let's get to chopping. So take off our ends, cut up by the leaves here. We don't want that. So just a small amount of celery. Just a little bit of flavor. And this is a Vidalia onion, so a more sweet onion. You just don't like. But you're German as well, Cedros? Because my boyfriend is German and he hates raw celery as well. But if I put it in stuff, like cook it, he's totally okay with it. But raw celery is not a thing for him. I don't know if it's that's a German thing or what. Just grabbing a bowl to put the veg into after we chop it up. Is celery a man-made veggie? I don't think so. Let's see. It's been cultivated as a vegetable since antiquity. So a long ass time. Celery was grown as a vegetable for winter and early spring. It was perceived as a cleansing tonic. Interesting. There we go. Now we know. He will freak out about celery. Yeah, celery with peanut butter and raisins, aka ants on a log. So small dice here with our onion. I like to follow the natural lines in the onion and the curve. That way you won't get any weird pieces when you go to chop it up fine. And then we always leave about a 1/4 inch at the top here where we don't cut through, and that holds the onion together for us. And I always like to cut the onion the same size as the rice kernels, so you don't really know that it's in there. Celery was engineered by humans. I don't know, Thunder. I mean, I didn't read anything about that, but it doesn't mean that I am right and that you are wrong. Maybe you just have to look a little bit further. See if this burns my eyes at all. You still to this day want to try Wiener Schnitzel from Germany? Yeah. Okay, the onion is strong. There is no escaping the tears. I just got those sensitive eyes, guys. There's too much false information on social media. Agreed. Man, you know the saying, Thunder. Don't believe everything you read on the internet. Put the onions in the freezer? You're crazy, Nike. You can smell it from here. I know it's so potent. It burns the eyes and the nostrils. And now I'm blind and can't see what I'm doing. Ah. Cooking blind today. That's it, guys. Okay. Onion done. So now we're going to cut the celery nice and small like that. Practicing some knife skills today. It's your gas. Oh my goodness. I knew it smelled off. And that is why no one's invented smell-o-vision. Because we don't want to smell each other's farts. Like, how would you play that off? Like, sneak one out, silent but deadly. You can't say, like, no, it wasn't me. That's the one thing holding us back. What is Sammy saying? He says the scallops are a good size. And I guess he's sitting on the side of the road for some reason. Okay, we're going to cut this piece of celery down just a touch. And it is clean, so I don't have to give it a wash. Sounds like you're stretching the balloon while it's releasing. Yeah, so good. Okay, so we're just going to do really thin strips of celery. Do your best. I know it has that kind of natural curve in it at the bottom. So it'll always be a little bit wider. I think that's okay. You guys want to move to Canada? Okay, I just need to go grab a Kleenex. My nose is just running now. Tears have been wiped away. It's like living in Iowa, but better. Man, what's wrong with Oregon? Everyone says Oregon is awesome. Okay, now we're just going to line up all of our celery and give it a small chop. I definitely fart. I farted. No, I didn't. And plus, I would totally tell you guys. I don't care. Eggs, how are you? Welcome to the stream today. Currently talking about farts and smell-o-vision. And I'm also crying because I'm chopping onions. It's been a day. We'll say that. This piece of celery is bugging me. Four minutes and counting until it's that time. Looks like we already passed 4:20 here. Should probably crack that margarita. Okay, there's our onion and our celery finely diced. Now we can just put that aside for later. Got some bowls piling up. Pan-seared scallops sounds so good. I am so excited. Broke the bank for this stream. I better fart on stream and give a good push. Oh my god. As long as someone clips it. You never actually made them yourself. Feel like you'd mess them up. Just follow what Ramsey says and you'll be okay. Straight up. We're making chicken tortilla soup in the crock tomorrow. Yum. That's such a good one to make. Effortless. Okay. We got our stock. We don't need the olive oil just yet. We have our onion, celery chopped. Our rice is measured as well as the wine. We have our edamame in place of the asparagus. We just need some butter. And we need to grate the Parmesan cheese right now. Let's do that. We can get the mint and whatever other herbs out as well. And then I have my lemon here, so we can zest this one. And I just have this one here for juice, but this juice will probably be used on the scallops. And then we'll zest and juice this one for the risotto. I think that's the best way to go about this. If I'm really boss, I will lift my leg. Ugh, I always get so mad when Sam does that. It's like you have to go through that much effort just to get a toot out. I don't think it was ready. Okay, let's get the cheese out. We'll grate that first because it's dry, and then we'll grate the lemon afterwards. And the margarita. Might as well try it out. I don't know about this thing. Sparkling Jose Cuervo margarita. It's got tequila in it. 5%. Sammy picked this. Let's try it. Bye, Matt. Enjoy your pizza. Cheers, guys. That's legit. That's a really good. It's not too sweet. It's not too sour. You don't just taste the tequila. I'm into it. That could be dangerous. Getting our paper. And I think I'll just use, maybe we'll just use the box grater. That might be the easier thing to use than the microplane. Let's do it. And it says 1 small handful of Parmesan cheese grated, plus a block for grating, which you probably use at the end to finish. You like rocket scientist. Cedros, you're a chemist? That's so cool. Oh yeah, effortless. We want to grate it fine just so it melts really quickly. Even though little pieces of Parmesan cheese would not be a bad thing in risotto. Slow and steady on this fine grater. We got some awesome scientists in here. Stinky cheese for the win. Give it a little tap. think I'm good with that. And if you want, you can grate a little bit more over after. Yum, eggs. Yeah, where's Ramsey when you need him? Man, I was watching the YouTube videos of him cooking scallops. It was making me nervous this morning. I was like, I'm not ready for this. Doing it on camera in front of everyone. I can't do it. Yeah, we got some cool peeps in chat. Everyone's so unique in their own way. What is this? Dark Prince, welcome in. How is the stream? We're just getting cheesy up in here. Building Parmesan mountains. Woohoo! Damsel in distress. What's up, guys? Okay, so we got our parm. Let's get some raid hype. Okay, on to our lemon. Let's prep it up. We'll zest it and juice it so it's ready to go. Because I know once we start cooking later on today, everything's going to happen so fast because it's all done on the stovetop. So I'm just going to be wild in over there. Thunder Muffin. You're here to show me some spicy love. Thank you. I am all for this spicy love. The spice is nice. What? Damsel just gifting the sub right away to Dark Prince. Thank you so much. Welcome in. And thanks for the follow. I'm shocked. What's going on? Yes, Thunder. Get those onions. And Damsel just subscribed. The heck. Thank you so much, Damsel. Welcome to the squad. Feel free to use that onion wherever you so desire. Cheers, guys. Saw a really funny meme today for the 4th of July for you guys. It's like, since it's on a Wednesday, do you drink the weekend before? Or do you drink the weekend after? Or do you drink the whole week, the whole month, the whole year? Have I watched Hell's Kitchen? I have. Sam was actually the one that showed me it. That was the episode that I watched of him teaching someone how to cook the scallops. So I'm totally going to use Ramsey's technique today on stream. So you start the scallop, one in the pan at 12 o'clock, and you just go clockwise until you filled up the pan. And then by the time you get back to the first scallop, it'll be time to flip it over. So you don't have to set a timer or anything. Eternity of drinking. Yeah, exactly. Have I watched the Hannibal TV series? That I have not. So let's go to juice our lemon. And I'm just going to put it in one of these cups so we can kind of see how much we end up with. Because this is a 1 cup measurement. Nike's with the sub as well with Prime. Welcome in. Thank you so much, Nike. Welcome to the squad. Let's wait till Matt finds out about this. And then all of our lovely aromatics, like our lemon and herbs, that's going to be added at the end of the risotto cookery. That way it is going to stay nice and bright. And you also don't want the lemon juice to kind of reduce and get super strong. You're in the fam now. Woohoo! Let's get our reamer. And that way it'll keep the seeds out of there for us. We don't gotta get our hands too messy. Oh God. And it still splashes out anyways. I hate when it does that. Rook, how's it going, man? How's the day? How's the AC? And life? Hopefully the struggle is like over now for you. Okay. So I would say that's probably a 1/4 cup of lemon juice, just so you guys know. And then just the 1 lemon zested, because that's where most of your lemon flavor is, with a really nice bright lemon flavor. Okay, so we're pretty much there. I'll just grab the butter out. So we'll need the butter for the risotto and also for the scallops. Not so fun fact, aromatic actually refers to aromatic compounds in chemistry. Almost all fruit has those. That is a very fun fact. Anything science and food related is so interesting to me. So never be like embarrassed to post that stuff in chat, because that's really interesting to know. I like to learn a lot of new stuff, even from you guys. The AC is effed. You sent the letter regarding the property codes and your rights. You had 4 people in suits show up at your door at 9 a.m. No way. What? That's insanity. Sushi, thanks for the host. How was the stream? Okay, so I just have these chunks of butter here, so I'll probably use 1 for the risotto, 1 for the scallops, and maybe 1 for the peas, but I think I might just stick to olive oil for the peas. They've said they're putting in a new unit for the last 2 weeks. Today they put in a temporary window unit in the meantime. Well, at least you have something that works somewhat now. Because dang, dude, it's been too long. Okay, let's get into our herbage. Can start to chop those up. It's 4:30. I have a feeling I'll start to cook in around half an hour. Steve, how are you, dude? How was Canada Day? It's been a while. So this is the dill that I just picked before the stream. Let's just take out any of the thicker stem pieces. What? Cedros? Optrix, you guys are spoiling me today. Your electric bill is $4.50 a month, Rook? Okay, that's ridiculous. Yeah, and plus you can't sleep. Optrix, thank you, man. Bringing Cedros into the squad. Welcome in. Optrix, you're definitely getting some cookies baked for you and sent over. So let's do dill, and let's grab out our mixed herb bag and see what we can find in there. I do still have some parsley and some green onions from the farm. But I think I'd like to use chives today, just because they're a little bit more delicate. So you don't want to pair any too strong flavors with scallops, because it'll just overpower that delicate seafood flavor. So let's grab out this little bunch of chives. Bam. Like so. I'm not going to use thyme today. That's too strong. I think we might have a little bit of mint in here. So we have the pineapple mint. which is probably our best option. So I'll probably just use that amount. Dill, mint, and chives, but the chives will be chopped up and used for garnish, so we'll keep that separate, but the dill and the mint can definitely go together. Hey Karen, how are you? Welcome in. You don't remember Canada Day, so it was good then, Steve. Yep, Brooke, you're making the pizza dough tonight. You've had stuff for it for 4 days, but haven't had the energy to cook. Fair enough, dude. Italian sausage, pepperoni, basil, cast iron. Yum. Want. Put that aside for a sec. We'll chop this separately. We are having a good time in here. Rush has fallen asleep. Aww. He had his ice cream and now it's time for bed. That happens to me a lot as well, Karen. Like whenever I have a snack at night, I will just fall asleep around half an hour afterwards. I don't know, I just can't help it. I guess my body just gets like too comfortable after. I'm happy I'm not the only one that happens to though. He's snoring away, so cute. Deep dish with lots of sauce. Yes, Rook. Is there a specific place for viewers cooking pics in Discord? Yeah, you can post under the food photos section. Just giving this a smell. Not a very strong mint aroma coming off of it, which is nice. We don't want to overpower anything today. I just want everything to work really well together. We'll go pretty fine with this. Yeah, we'll have to dock his pay. Chop, chop, my peeps. You like to eat your pizza with a fork, Rook. I don't like to eat my pizza with a fork, but pretty much everywhere in Italy that you go, your pizza is not cut for you, and all you have is a fork and knife to eat it. So I kind of sucked it up and got used to eating pizza with a fork when I was in Italy. Can't really be against it now. Okay, my chives are like all tangled. Just trying to line up the bottom part to make it easier to chop. Line up the stems and we'll get all of our really nice cuts. Pizza with a fork. Yeah, they don't slice it up for you at all. It's just like, here's your pizza in its entire mass. Do what you want with it. I wonder if they judge you on how you cut it though. Or like on how you eat it. Like, do you have to slice it into triangles still? Or can you just like start mowing down on it? Because I think I always still sliced it into the triangle pieces. But why wouldn't you cut it into maybe squares or something? I don't know. So we're getting our chives really nice and thinly sliced. How's the day, Steve? The day has been swell, my dude. Did some computer work this morning. I did want to clean the house, but then I ended up having to drive like an hour to get the scallops for the stream. So that took out a good little chunk of my day, but the drive was really nice. It wasn't too busy. Traffic was flowing well, so can't complain. Now I'm just here with you guys. So I am so picky that I'll actually go over my chives and take out the pieces that do not look consistent. Because this is a garnish, so you want it to look really nice. Like this is how you're going to present your plate. It's probably just a chef thing though. You don't have to go this crazy. But I can tell now that I'm working back in a restaurant that I pay a lot more attention to what I'm doing. So that is what we want. Fine herbs. Chopping level 1000. You literally cannot stand bologna, or people that use cottage cheese instead of ricotta in lasagna. Wait, are you saying bologna or bologna as in the place? Okay. Herbage. Done. What's next, guys? I think we should process our radishes that I picked earlier. So I'm just going to go over to the sink, give them a quick little wash off, and then we can slice them thin with the microplane. No, not the microplane, the mandolin. The thing that starts with an M. So this is the one I use. I'll just leave that there so you guys can maybe check it out if you want. It's called Ben Reiner. Ben Reiner. And they're pretty inexpensive. Pretty good quality too. What star sign am I? I am a Pisces. Like you're asking astrology? Oh no, Buff. You ate too much food. You went overboard and now you regret it, is what you're saying. Now you're at that uncomfortable state, questioning life, being like, I should probably be really fat, but I'm not. Why am I not obese? Okay, I think all of the dirt has been washed off for the most part. Can probably do another rinse after we cut the stems off. Here's our lovely little French radishes. Just picked those before the stream. You saw the salami I'm making? Yes! Do I ever use a bouquet garni? I don't often, Optrix. Yeah, I don't often use a bouquet garni. I typically just chop the herbs and put them in. You love the Bon Appetit series on Vice Munchies. 100% eggs. I love that series. I have no idea how they actually consume all of those foods. I would just pass out from the amount of THC they're putting in that stuff. You've always wanted to make salami, Vaders. Me too. And I'm so excited to be able to work somewhere that, like, number one, trusts me to even deal with those ingredients. And that will actually take the time and teach me properly rather than, like, rushing through it. That was such a fun day. And I'm proud to say that, like, I pretty much did all of the work for it, other than make up the spice mix and cut up the fat that went into it. But I cleaned all the lamb for it. I ground all the meats and the fats the morning of. I prepared the casings for the salami as well. And then I helped to fill the casings. So I saw the whole process start to finish, which is so cool. Like, typically they give the people with less experience, like, the crap jobs, right? Yeah, I'm a Pisces. You guys are Taurus. Oh, just because we love the same foods, that is awesome. Looking for my strainer, and Sammy sneakily put it somewhere else. Always looking like a perfect meal. Thanks, dude. I definitely strive for perfection. Even though I know I'm, like, nowhere close in a lot of chef's eyes. But to me, as long as you try and you think that what you made is awesome, well, that's pretty much all that matters. Because there's just so many ways to do stuff nowadays that I don't know if there's, like, a right or a wrong way anymore. There's a lot of knowledge in the world. So it's great to have that open mind. Just giving those one more rinse. Pretty dirty. I know these radishes are great. This one just has a little blemish. But we also pickled these up. So we ate them on stream yesterday and they're super good. Like, almost too tangy. Where, like, you have that last bite and you, like, kind of shudder. But I love that. And I think over time, as that sits in the pickling brine, it should ease up a bit. Do I cook Thai food? I do. I love Thai food. Whoa, Liz, you're back. You didn't get Chinese food. You bought sweet potatoes and mac and cheese from Boston Market. Yum. And cornbread. Sounds good. How long does it take until the salamis are done? Great question. So the salami that size, it's kind of like a typical sausage size, or like a smoky, as we call them in America. That will take a month to cure. So we'll be eating it by August, which I like even better. It's like, yes, I only have to wait a month to eat this. I'm just gonna fill a bowl full of cold water for the radishes, and that will keep them really nice and crisp once we slice them. Radish butter and salt. It is so good, eggs. I did that on a stream probably, let's say, at least a month ago. And it's so good. So simple. So refreshing. He didn't use the pepper, bruh. So now the way to adjust your thickness on your mandolin is this little screw underneath. And like I said, we want it pretty thin. So let's do a couple test swipes. I don't know if this is if the blade is sharp enough, to be honest, how it's like dragging across there. Or we just have to turn it down a touch. I might have to use my knife for this. I'm not liking how that's dragging across the blade. Okay, so now we know that Kate needs to touch up her mandolin. 100%. These are potent. Okay, let's do knife skills then. You wonder what pickled salami tastes like. I have no idea. Oh, Nike, you have anxiety too. Me too, man. The struggle. Thai food is the best on earth. I don't know if I agree with that, but it is some of the best. And you know what? I think I'm going to go for a quick bathroom break. Finally caught up on chat with you guys. Yeah, I streamed yesterday. We started an hour later though, Steve. It's so quiet. All you hear is the footsteps. A helicopter? How are you? You made 2 massive burgers today. Epic. You're sipping on a 40 ounce of St. Ides. It's got you wavy. I'm sipping on some sparkling margarita. So now let's try and cut our radishes as thin as possible. So like you can see through it, almost. That'll be a super nice garnish to go on the plate. Both for color and texture. And these little nubs, that's your snack. And then that just gets put into the water and that'll keep them nice and crisp. I'm gonna make hot chocolate, yum. Helicopter was your very first gifted sub, yay. And he's still here. I hate when the radish sneaks under my knife blade and then I cut it. Rawr. That was probably when you were out for a meal with the fam. Probably, Steve. Yeah, we started at 3:30 instead of 2:30. You're sipping on oolong and ginger tea. So good. I need to start making teas for myself again. Ooh, look at this guy. I don't know if we're gonna use this one. Look at the middle, it's like all dried out. I don't think I want to use that radish. I don't know what happened to you, but he's not happy. Not worth it. It still tastes good, really? Maybe I just won't use it for garnish then, just because it looks funny. I think that means it just got a little bit too overgrown. She got too big. And that's probably enough garnish. These other ones I can just put back into the fridge. Crippling depression. Thanks for the follow. Have I ever cut myself on stream? No, Steve, I actually haven't. I know, kind of shocking, right? But I've done so good so far. But I'm also not really cooking under pressure where something like that could happen. Like, this is definitely a relaxed environment. Okay, there's our other garnish. And so it says the risotto will take 40 minutes, yeah? So we want to be done by 6, so we should probably start that pretty soon. Let's kind of go over our game plan now. Got stuffs everywhere. And I think I will probably process just a touch of garlic to saute the peas with. Not too much though, because garlic can be strong. I'll probably only do these 2 cloves. The last of Sam's mom's garlic. Smash it to peel it. It's just so much easier. And these look funny. I don't know, guys. That's not very happy looking garlic. What is the conversion for ounces to teaspoons? I have no idea, dude. I am not an ounce person. Do I cut myself when under pressure? It's happened. I mean, that's when injuring yourself typically happens, because you're not really 100%, right? Your mind is in a lot of different places. So yeah, definitely have. But I've never had to get stitches. It's never been that bad. Okay, let's see what we're working with. Let's try these 2. Oh, I feel a little bit better. Looks like 6 teaspoons. 6 teaspoons, so that's 2 tablespoons. Dolphin Spanker, thanks for the follow. Welcome in. Yay, this garlic is happy. Okay, so we'll just leave these aside with the garlic press. And we'll just mince that into the peas later on. Ta-da! Okay, so we got our peas with the garlic that just have to saute with some olive oil. So I think we'll use just this little guy right here. So we kind of have to set up our stovetop to see if everything's gonna fit on here. And then our risotto, which I'm gonna do in this big guy, probably right here. And then our scallops, I'll probably have to use 2 pans for the scallops. Or I just use the 1 pan, but do it in 2 batches. So maybe I'll just cook up for myself first to taste. Oh, Rush. Rush, you woke up. Have a good sleep, man. Thanks for being here. And then we'll do a second batch of the scallops afterwards. Because I do also have this other griddle pan. But I don't think we'll have enough room on the stovetop. Maybe I'll do this. Switch this so that our stock for our risotto is right behind. Because then you'll be ladling in the stock. Makes sense. Scallops are on that big guy. We're set. We can do all of the things at once. Natural ice and pizza. Matt made it back. The only time you got stitches from being cut by a knife was not on your hands. What? What? Do I want to know where? Probably not. Okay, guys, and I'll post this one more time for you guys in chat. If you're like, how do you cook scallops? I watched that video this morning to brush up on my Ramsay skills. And that's how I'm going to cook the scallops. So he starts by heating a pan with oil and I think butter until it's smoking. Then drop your scallops in from 12 o'clock going clockwise. So I'll do like there and then keep going around. And by the time you get back to this one, it's time to flip it onto the other side. And then you're done. Easy mode. Are you fascinated by getting cut with knives? Let's hope not. It's not a very fun thing. Although I would still rather get cut than burnt. Because a burn still lasts for 24 hours after you burn yourself. It takes so long to cool down a burn, whereas like if you have a cut, just put a Band-Aid on it. You're good. Your brother stabbed you once? That's insanity. Hopefully not on purpose. Okay, let's get some oil in our pans and let's also turn on our vegetable stock. It's time to get cooking. So olive oil for the risotto. And we'll probably use a touch of butter as well. But we're going to use olive oil for the scallops. Totally wrong oil to use. Just because it has a lower smoking point. So we need to get that pan really, really hot for the scallops to not stick to it. So if we turn the olive oil all the way up to that heat, it's going to burn and it's going to taste bitter, which you're going to ruin your $50 worth of scallops that you bought just by mistaking the wrong oil to use. It happens more than I think. Probably. I mean, Buff just got stabbed at work too. That's nuts. One time you fell on a nail and it slashed through your hands, like all the way through. That would freak me out. So instead of olive oil, I might as well tell you guys, grapeseed is my go-to vegetable oil. You had a fridge dropped on your thigh. A small cut is nicer. Your leg is blue now. Chat went dark, guys. You guys went dark on me. It happened 2 days ago. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this one time at band camp, gonna leave the grapeseed oil out just in case we have to add a little bit more to the scallop pan. Let's get our ladle out. You're trying to breathe, guys. Nike's dying. Okay, heating up our stock. I know this doesn't really fit very well on here. Dang you, glass top. This is where we want the gas stove. And now let's turn on our risotto pan. We'll go medium. So when you're cooking the onion and the celery for risotto, you don't want to brown it because you don't really want to notice that it's there, which is why we cut it up small like the rice kernels. And we're just going to sweat out the onion until it's translucent. I know that browning it will give it flavor, but browning the onion in risotto just does not look right when you go to serve it. Send the mixer, Rook. Hand and wooden spoon. Man, you're getting your workout, Rook. Just think of it that way. You can do it. Does the stock have to be boiling when you add it to the rice? No. I just like to bring it up to a boil and then I always just turn it off. Or put it on like a really, really low heat. It just has to be hot, not boiling. Each of your brothers left at least one scar on you. Shit happens. That's family, man. Browning causes onions to lose the crispness. Exactly, Matt. That's crazy, Cedros. Just a fridge dropped on your leg. No problem. They lose the blue part. What? Okay, I got lost now. Only 2-hour wait for the dough to rise until you add stuff. You got the cast iron ready. Oh, you're not doing 24-hour. You're making it up today. Easy mode. Now you just have to prep all your ingredients while your dough rises. So good. I'm going to turn this light on as well. Hopefully it's not too bad. And we want our handy dandy, he said crispness. What do you think I said? Crispness? Christmas. Christmas. Behave. Be good. Just rinsing out the strainer. Okay, we got our rice. We're ready. Cripness. He did say cripness. Crip. I'm not your mom. Don't call me that. Oh my God. What have I started? Put that fan on. All right, guys. There went that fantasy. Exactly. And don't do no weird shit in here. I will shut that down. Yeah, we are wildin'. You aren't yourself until you've had a Snickers. Sam actually almost had to tell me that at one point when I was doing my crazy training. Too much. Yeah, send help. As soon as this oil starts to kind of shimmer, we'll put our onion and celery in. And then it's time to start the risotto. Feeling good about this. Man, we don't have any Snickers in this household. Socializing and interesting conversations. You will find that here. It's not just cookery. And then the scallops only take, it says, 1.5 minutes per side or less. So that will be done right at the end of the stream. And the peas, we can probably saute up a little bit ahead of time because they're not going to lose too much color. Cookery and tomfoolery. We are set. Snickers or Twix vanilla ice cream. Oh, so good. Okay. Pan is hot. You can see the steam coming off of our broth, so that's good. So you want that to be warm before you start. Getting a little sizzle going. Let's just stir these to coat them with the oil. And this will probably cook out for 5 minutes. We'll stir it every now and then. Maybe you should make a beer float. Oh, beer floats are good. Like stout with vanilla ice cream in it, really good. Steve, just telling me these crazy stories of you getting abused when you were younger. Throwing a piece of metal at the back of your head. Can you cook the arborio in butter or does it have to be oil? So after I saute or quickly sweat out the onion, I'm gonna add a little bit of butter to the pan so that we can toast that with the rice. You always need a little bit of butter in your risotto. Will I be taste testing it? I will, Cedros. That's a very important part of cooking. Is yes, we tasted all of the ingredients along the way as we prepped it, but it's also important to know how it tastes at the end. And then once you taste something for the first time, that actually gets imparted into your memory and you build up a flavor bank that way. So it actually gets easier for you to cook the same thing over and over because you know what that flavor is. We just want one nice even layer. So even though I may have not cooked, even though I may have not cooked all of the things in the world, I've tasted a lot of foods. And just having that flavor in my flavor bank, in my memory, helps me to recreate that flavor when I go to cook it for the first time. You taste each different grain. I did go into the brewery a lot, Octrix, and do that as well. Because I did like to bake with a lot of the beer-focused ingredients. So I would go in, go through all the bags, taste what grain would probably go with what I was baking, and see how it combined that way. Just wait and make my man taste it first so I know it's good. He is a trusted palate source. If he says it's bad, then I'm messed up. We're around halfway there for our veg. This is a really happy looking stovetop. I need to take a photo of it. That mise en place though. All of the cast irons in one spot. It wasn't abuse, Steve. It built character. Fair enough, man. You put your nose in each bag of hops. Yes. Actually, I still have a bag of hops in the freezer that I need to use for something. You compared your zucchini parm to eggplant parm, but you think you like the zucchini better. I think I would too. Just because eggplant goes a lot more mushy. It makes it easier to change things up using a different ingredient every now and then. It's the true spirit of cooking. Exactly. Trusted palate source, aka guinea pig, pretty much. Even though, like, he taught me a lot of stuff that I know about cooking. So who is the real guinea pig? Bees on floss? What? Instagram addiction is calling. They want to speak with me. Man, I'm just trying to build my following. Ah! Okay, there's a little bit of golden brown action happening. I am okay with this. But we don't want it to brown any further than that. So now, it is time to put the rice in. Arborio rice going in. As well as a little bit of butter. That much. Let's just push it to the bottom so it kind of melts for us. Give that a little stir. And you'll notice that the rice will start to go translucent. So it's almost opposite of when I toast up the long grain rice to boil it. Because when I toast the long grain rice, it goes more white color, so more opaque. Whereas the arborio goes more translucent. But that might just be because we use the fat in there. Melt butter. And then once our rice is toasted, our next step is to add our wine. And then let it cook until it's pretty much dry in the pan. And then we can start adding in our stock. Can someone talk dirty to you in German? What is going on? Scaramouche boy. Scaramouche boy. Thanks for the follow. Welcome in. That's insane, Steve. Could I change the settings on the cooking cam a little next time? The rice looks like the sun, basically. I mean, it's on autofocus. I mean, it might be better if I just turn off the light for now. You guys tell me what's good, and we'll figure it out. It's smelling so good in here already. Butter and onions, such a good smell. I think we're almost there on the rice. Steve has hit his head on a rock. Steve, you're not the same, man. What happened to you on Canada Day? Don't ask you to do the fandango. Well then, why are you in here? It looks better? Okay, guys. It's unusually sunny. I know, right? Like, it's actually sunny. Look at that. Woohoo! The autofocus is not the problem. The focus is good, it's just too bright. Yeah, it's these lights on the hood fan. All right. Everything's toasted up perfectly. Now we are putting in a cup of white wine. Give that a little stir and even a shake if you want. And then our stock is hot. So I just turned it all the way down to low. You're here for the cooking, not the dancing. Fair enough. You have found the right spot then. Not a cam pro. Neither am I. Obviously. Rook, you just mixed in your active yeast, honey, and a 1/4 cup of honey. Nice. That should proof up pretty quick then. Have a good walk with doggo. No, you're not at a delay. Oh no. Sammy's an hour away. And I already started the risotto. Maybe we will be doing Jamie's method of par cooking it. It's too late. We can't go back now. No. That's life, guys. We just gotta adapt to the change. Let's do it. Okay, let's check this. Oh, she's getting dry. Okay. So there's no more liquid from the wine. The rice has absorbed all of that flavoring, which is amazing. So now we can start to ladle in our broth. And we want just enough to cover the rice granules. So if I give this a stir, we'll go down to a lower heat as well. You want like a medium-low heat. Give this a stir to combine it, and then I always just kind of shake it to get that one even layer. That way it'll cook consistently everywhere. I can't talk. And that simmers just a little bit too aggressive still. I'm just gonna keep turning it down until we just get those slow bubbles coming up. Matt needs to go smoke some resin. Don't do it. I'm cooking risotto, Steve. Shake it up, baby. Twist and shout. Oh, you have a delay. Dang. And that sucks. Well, hopefully it's not too much of a delay. It's all right. Just rolling with it, Cedros. Okay, that's getting better. Did anyone watch the Ramsay video that I posted? You have a delay if you eat too much edibles. I was going to say vegetables. That would be Matt, though. Matt ate too much vegetables. Now he has a delay. It's between 5 and 10 seconds more than others. Crazy. Oh my gosh. You guys are wild. Okay, let's look at this. So the liquid, look how fast it cooked out already. So we have to ladle in more. And that's why I turned the heat down, because I could tell that it was just cooking too fast. And you're not going to build up your starch well enough. So just smooth it out. And now we got that nice slow simmer. And I just keep hitting the spoon off because the rice likes to stick to it. So you don't want any uncooked rice kernels being mixed back in. Yeah, we also walked uphill both ways. Or you can be like my brother and use scissors to grind up your wheat. I was like, have you ever seen a grinder? Because that's a thing. $3 grams of keef. That's insanity. You should bake something with that. Scissors, yeah, that was so strange. When my mom told me that, she's like, yeah, Bran was using scissors when he was here. I'm like, what? What a weirdo. That slow roll, that's all we need. You're saving it for New Year's Eve. Don't die, man. Don't you usually use a mortar and pestle to grind up grain? You can use a mortar and pestle to grind up grain, but they are not talking about grain. A penny in a pill jar. That's what you say about your sister, Optrix. Pretty strange. Okay, let's check it. Dry again. So what? After we use half of our stock, we just have to turn it off? I don't know if I can physically do that. And I also don't stir my risotto constantly. I find if you constantly stir it the whole time, you just break up the rice granules. Whereas you still want to see those little granules. You can't breathe, you're laughing too hard. Quick poll. I only have one brother. Some of you have seen him in chat, but he hasn't been in recently. 5 years older. Who's the weirdo now, Cedros? How many is in this chat? I don't know, we're at like 30 now. You have 2 sisters as well, Eggs? And another brother? Dang, you guys have a big family. That's awesome. Yeah, you fudged it up being twins. Imagine that. It's like, oh God, what have we done? Matt, you got a big family too. See this little dark piece of onion? I'm taking that out. I don't like it. Okay, Jamie, time to read into this par cooking risotto thing. So we should have followed the recipe to begin with then. So it says the recipe will take you up to a point where the rice is 75% ready, and that's all that's left to do is choose one of them and finish it off. The idea is that if you make the base in advance, then you can spread the rice out on a pan until you're ready to use it. Remember to have a large clean pan rubbed with a little olive oil right by the stove. It's important that it's large so that the rice can be spread thinly to cool it down faster, and it won't just keep cooking over top of itself. So I guess we'll be pouring this out of the pan then and letting it cool. I don't wanna. Don't make me do it, world. 5 years. I'm the annoying little sister. 100%. But I was super cool though. Like, I've always grown up being around the guys. So definitely more of a tomboy situation there. It's already getting more creamy though. You can see as I stir it. We'll let that cook a touch more, and then I guess we'll be flipping it out. I seem really headstrong and confident. I would say that working in a kitchen has built up my confidence. Because there's no way you can work under that much pressure if you're not confident. You'll just crumble. And I had a lot of really tough chefs when I started out. And at first I really, really hated it. Like, I for sure cried at work before. Because it just was so hard. But I look back at it now and it has totally built my character in like a way that I never would have had imagined. It's very cool. Oh, we're whipping it out. No, I think I said tipping it out. And instead of just oiling the pan, I'm just going to line it with some parchment. Turn that off and that off. I just wanted to make sure this wasn't sticking as I prep our station. Yeah, we're whipping it out. You didn't get the memo. You're too late. Oh, God. False alarm. Is he messing with me or what's going on? I can't do it. What is life right now? Okay, do we continue cooking it then? You've seen so many girls cry in the workplace because of bosses? Yeah. Shit gets tough. Okay, so false alarm. We will just carry on with the risotto. Turn it back on. We'll add our liquid again. We need just a touch more. Bring up the liquid right to the edge. But I don't think this process takes the 40 minutes. Like, I think you could easily make a risotto in 30. But it's probably a lot easier for me to do it now than for you guys to do that for the first time. If it's cold, it's Sammy's fault. Tara, how are you? You're back. I was gonna say. How are you feeling? Oh, no problem, Cedros. I mean, you don't have to spill all the deets, but that's cool. You got enough from your grinder for a bowl, Matt. Not abuse, character. Exactly, Steve. 20 minutes for a risotto. I could whip it out in 20 minutes. We're not whipping it out in 20 minutes. That's not a memo. Keep all of your stuff unwhipped. But you could whip up a risotto in 20 minutes. Now we got Vag talk in here. This is perfect, guys. Greatest Tuesday ever. You're on Oxycontins and antibiotics. Tara is litty right now. Optrix, you have 2 half-brothers as well, in addition to 2 sisters and 1 brother. Your half-brothers are a lot younger. That's cool. As long as you get along with everyone, I think that's all that matters. Ramsey says 15. Yeah, right. Yeah, you only get Nike worked up. Elvin, you're back. No, it wasn't partying. She had a surgery, guys. She had a vag surgery, so we have to send her love. Not be mean. Okay, this slow cook is perfect right now. Just trying to time everything out for when peeps get home. She was trying to break. Oh, Matt. Just shake my head. That's all I'm gonna do. I got an itch. Well, I'm happy that we didn't have to start and stop the risotto. The struggle. Then I would have had to follow a recipe. Weird. Am I vegetarian? That's a nope. Have I ever tried using a recipe, or have I ever tried a recipe using a part of an animal I usually don't use, such as tongue? I have not personally cooked beef tongue on my own, but I have worked in restaurants that we've prepared it at, and I've also done it at culinary school. So yeah, I've worked with some kind of weird ingredients, and beef tongue is actually really good. It gets a bad rap, but the texture and the flavor is really nice. Like, if you didn't know it was beef tongue, a lot more people would be eating it. Not a chance, Matt. Turkey ass? What? It's really tough, yeah. So you have to braise it, cook it low and slow, the tongue, and then it's really nice. Like, one of my favorite applications is a beef tongue taco. Let's check it. Okay, we're just starting to stick on the bottom. Let's add a little bit more of our broth. Give it a good stir. See how thick this is getting now? She'd be getting thick. might have to add a little bit more water in there. Just gonna add a touch. Feel like we're gonna be short a touch of it. Just because we have to add the edamame still as well. So I'm gonna add a cup extra. Taco trucks in LA. Taco lengua. Exactly. Rook is back. The dough is made and resting for 50 more minutes. Since you're making one pizza and not individuals. Oh, the one pizza is going to be so good though. You beat the crap out of the tongue with a mallet and just put it in a slow cooker? I've never seen that, Matt. You're personally more of a fan of pork tongue. See, I've never used that. Pork tongue with a vinegar sauce. I could see that being good. Yeah, taco de lengua. Lengua. Taco de lengua. It's off an Eddie Murphy movie. What? I'm so bad with movie references. You guys know that. Yeah, you better post those pics, Rook. You had pork tongue yakitori in Tokyo. Oh. Was it fatty, the pork tongue? Okay, it's almost time to add a little bit more liquid. And then I'm going to turn on the pot for the peas. Medium heat with a little bit of butter. Buttered peas are just so good. You're eating, Tara. What are you eating? Lengua tacos are like French kissing some Mexican food. Pashi, come here. You look too cute. No, get the Pluto. No, get your baby. Oh God, get down. Okay, doggo's wildin'. I'm guessing Betty's home. Just a sec. We'll set her up here for success. She brought in her Pluto, first of all. She loves peas. Poshy poo. She finally came down and visited me. Okay, we need to check this. Definitely need more. And at this point, I think I'm gonna put the edamame in. Let's just give this a little stir. It's looking creamy though. And then we still just have to add in the chopped herbs, which we can actually do that now. So I just have some chopped dill and pineapple mint, which is pretty mild for mint flavor. It wasn't fatty, it was really tender. Nice eggs. We can take the scallops out of the fridge. Ta-da! Look at that plate of amazing stuff. You just threw some random foods on your plate, like shepherd's pie, fries, and a pizza pop. The struggle. That was almost like Jaws jumping on a boat and grabbing some porcelain. Yeah, I taught her to jump up onto the counter and take the snack if I tell her to. She's like, what do you got? I think we should see how our rice is cooked, and then we can time out the rest of dinner. It's actually perfect right now. So I'm going to turn the heat off. I know we have that little bit of extra broth, but I think because we're just going to let the risotto sit for probably 5 or 10 minutes before we serve, we might have to just loosen it up a bit before we serve it. Because as it sits there in the hot pan, it's going to continue to soak up all the liquids that are in there. You're sweating after eating dinner. Oh, that's the worst. So now we'll put in our lemon zest. Hi. Hi. And we'll save the juice until afterwards, I think. So maybe we'll loosen it up with the lemon juice.
Do you have to get food?
Yep. I think I want to just put a touch in. But I don't think I'm going to put the full quarter cup. Maybe I'll just save that for the scallops. And then lastly, the cheese. You're gonna have a beer tonight. You think your mom bought you it. Once in a blue moon, so it's a treat. Yay, cheers then. I'm just having a little drinky too. Alright guys. Cheese mountain going in. And look at our butter. So it's just starting to brown. That's what we want. Put our peas in. And then I just have to mince in our garlic. And now the scallop pan is being turned on. Garlicky peas, so good. And these will only take a couple minutes to saute. I still want them to be pretty crunchy. We'll just cover that up. Okay. Stir in our cheese. And then we'll season up our scallops, and pretty much everything is good to go. I do need to still put some salt in this risotto though. You guys with me still? Are we good? Your mom bought you Mountaintop Canadian beer. Never even heard of that brand. Yeah, get that salt. Probably another stir. Now let's taste it with our cheese in there. Mmm. The cheese and the lemon, so good. I'm gonna start with a tablespoon of salt. That's a Sammy.
Nothing happened.
I was so torn up. Because I just poured the wine into the risotto to start adding in the liquids.
Risotto can hold though.
I know, but I
Don't
didn't.
cook the
I
scallops.
told chat that I was like, we're not doing the holding method. And then you literally came in.
We're not
I was
doing
like,
the holding
no.
method. Yeah, home safe.
Okay, let's throw in a touch more broth. Loosen this up. Check our peas.
How's the margarita?
It's really good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay, so the peas, they're turned darker color. That's typically when I know that they're done. So that can come off as well. Give this a little try. Touch of salt to contrast the sweetness. Not too much though. We'll just do that. Take it off the burner. Give this one more stir. And then I'm just gonna cover it for now. Super refreshing. Okay, we're just waiting on this. Oh, wrong one. Just waiting on that guy to start smoking. So let's do some seasoning action. Salt and pepper, that's it.
Hi chat, I made it. We're alive.
They're alive. I don't want too much black pepper though. That can be overpowering. Your favorite beer is Belgian and hard to find. Saint Sebastian's Grand Reserve Blonde Ale. I don't think I've ever seen that. And you also don't want too much salt on the scallops either. They already kind of taste like the sea. And they're very delicate. And like more sweet. So you just need that little bit of salt to contrast the sweetness. Very similar to the peas. Because you can always touch up with salt after, but you can't take it out. And now, garnish is coming over. Plating. Let's do a touch of butter. I always like to do a mix of butter and oil for the scallops, just because it tastes so good. Crank that up to medium-high. And we are there. You've had scallops at Red Lobster, but they look different. Why did they look different? Jever Jever is bad. Okay, so when your butter starts to foam, that means it is hot. And it's gonna want to burn. So let's go. Ramsay method, starting at 12 o'clock. You want that hard sizzle when you drop the scallop in. If you don't hear that, don't even bother. It needs to be like shh and like starting to smoke. So unless it's that hot, don't even start to cook them because you're not gonna get the nice color. Would like to turn a light on for you guys, but I don't know if it's gonna ruin it or not. How's that? Okay, we're starting to smoke. Let's try this again. Oh yeah. Okay, starting at 12 o'clock, going around the pan clockwise. You don't want them to touch. And we're not going to overcrowd the pan, so look at how much I took off. We're just going to do it in batches to make sure it gets cooked perfectly. Yeah, we're sizzling. I'm going to wash my hands, seafood hands, and then Ramsay uses a spoon to flip them. So let's do that. Oh yeah. Look at that color on there. So butter is going to help get that nice golden brown. What is that? Just keep going. Hell yeah. No touching. Careful, why? We're good. Okay. I'm gonna turn that off for now. Let's plate our risotto, plate our peas. By the time we're done that, scallops will be perfect. I'm getting popped by the sizzles. No, it sounded like someone knocked on a window. Okay, let's check it. I think we still just need one more little loosening up. And I'm going to take these scallops out of there. Something so expensive, you don't want to overcook it. And Viyun, how are you? That's what we're looking for. Yep. My peeps. Yep. The moose is trying to come in again. No. Okay. I'm gonna put this right in the center of the plate. Honestly, haven't really thought about how I wanted to plate this. But I'm thinking I'm just gonna put the scallops around the risotto. So a nice spoonful like that. Keep it clean. Wipe your edges. Let's check out our peas. Our garlicky peas. And if they fall off, well then they fall off a bit. Only need like that much, I think. I need to split that in 4. Put our lid back on. So good though, I'm so excited. Okay, I'm just gonna set those aside for a sec. Totally okay if the peas slide off like that. It's kind of like slippery little dinner. I'm just gonna eat that one. It doesn't look like it belongs. Wipe your rim. Oh, these feel great. Place your scallops around your risotto. And what's the key for plating, guys? Odd numbers. So we're only gonna do 5.
Sounds like scallops.
Quick little hand rinse. How is this light though, guys? Can you guys tell that we changed the light bulb on the weekend? Oh yeah, Vune, we have a new German in chat for you. So here's our sliced radish. Just kind of drop that wherever around the plate. Got a good contrast in textures and flavors today. And now our chivers. How is it, Sammy? Is it perfect? Yes. So there you go, Matt. You told me to see if Sammy liked it, and if he didn't like it, then throw it out. It's perfect though. And I think I should just grate a little bit of fresh parm over this. Need to microplane it.
That's some good stuff.
Just like missing that little kiss of cheese. Check it. The scallops are big. Yeah, these were $50 today, so $5.99 per 100 grams, but they just flew in fresh this morning from the East Coast.
Those are fresh. Like,
So as soon as I heard that from the guy at the seafood market, I was like, I'm coming in. Just finish with a little bit.
those have to be like some of the best scallops I've had.
All right,
Yeah. Like,
heard it here first. And then if we really want to complete this,
that's just a scallop though, doesn't matter. But it's just, it's, the
Ah.
texture's that perfect on it.
the lid. Just a little spoonful of olive oil around the plate. You forgot Parm and Romano? No. So I'm gonna pour the olive oil onto a spoon just because it's easier to plate. Just do a little drizzle. And look at that yellow contrast in color. Exactly what this needed. Yeah, I'm pumped. This looks so good. It's exactly what I imagined it would be. Instant Michelin stars. Thanks, guys. Picture time. Optrix called it. You guys know the drill by now. You know what? I do like hanging around Germans as well. And eggs, I'm so happy that you're still in here. It's gotta be so late for you already. says she's starving. It's not a thing though. You can't be starving in North America. This is a first world country. Liz is like, yeah, we already had this combo. Okay. Thanks, Rook. I am quite the chef. Man, I appreciate that. I just try to get better every time I make something. It's like, I'm always thinking, how can I make this better? Okay, let's dig down. Let's get into this risotto. First time I've put edamame into risotto instead of peas. So that's new for me, but look at the granules in here. It's like they're formed, but all of that starch is just enveloping them. You drank too much tea, so now you're just staying up. The lemon makes that. Like lemon with risotto, so good. Thanks, Vioon. I appreciate all that love. Now let's have a couple of peas. Maybe we'll get a bite of radish on there too. You hear that crunching? That's what we need. How did I get the idea for using a mandolin on radishes? Because that's what I've done before in restaurants. Peas are cooked, but they're still got that little bit of crunch. Perfect. Okay. Let's get into this scallop. Butter knife. That's what we're gonna use. You can see just how buttery it is. Maybe I can even do this closer. Going for this guy right here. Done. So that's what it should look like when it's cooked. It's a little bit opaque. Holy. It's seriously just melting away in my mouth. I've never had a scallop like this.
Scallops I've ever had.
Well worth the money. Raid your channel, but no one wants to watch dough rise for 21 more minutes. No, let's do it, Rook. Are you there to chat? Why not? Yeah, God, is that you? I'm not lying when I'm saying it just melts in your mouth. Like, there is no chewing involved here. Like, if you didn't have teeth, you could easily eat this. So freaking good. Well, now I know what fresh scallops actually taste like. Hey guys, I just got to finish cooking off those other scallops, but we're gonna end the stream now. Messiah, I'm not bragging. I mean, I paid good money for those, so they better be fresh, right? Is what I'm trying to make my point across. Bye, Matt. Thanks for chilling, man. Okay, Rook, are you actually on? Or do you not want that to happen? Otherwise, we'll go find someone else. Chef's just about to start. Or we can go see Vegan Chick again. She's making a burrito casserole. That sounds pretty good. How does my food look like a picture from a cookbook? You always try it and it always tastes nice, but it never looks like this. I've always been pretty good at plating and like contrasting colors and textures. But not every chef is really good at plating. Some people are just really good at cooking. And then when they go to plate it, it's like, oh, But at least it tastes really good still. Okay, we're going into vegan chick then. Going to show her some love. Thanks everyone for the awesome stream. Happy you guys came back if you left at some point. Hope you guys have a wonderful night. Remember, I'm not streaming tomorrow, but I'll be back on Thursday. Thursday. Cheers, guys. You're allergic to vegans. She's really cool, Matt. Don't be like that. Good night, guys. Thanks for all the subs today, too. You're on fire.